What if I told you one of Italy's most famous, universally loved desserts is actually at the center of a real-life, intensely passionate regional rivalry? Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into the story behind a dessert that seems so simple on the surface, creamy, light, coffee-infused, but is backed by an incredibly fascinating history. We're talking, of course, about tiramisu.
Okay, let's dive into this. Who really invented tiramisu? It's this massive culinary mystery that literally has food historians, esteemed chefs, and even local Italian governments arguing over its true origins. We're talking about a dessert that has captured hearts all over the world, right? Yet its very creation is the subject of a fierce, ongoing debate.
The battle essentially boils down to two distinct regions. On one side, we've got the Veneto region. The city of Treviso specifically claims that tiramisu was created at a local restaurant called La Beccaria, using simple, local ingredients. But on the other side, the Friuli Venezuela Giulia region passionately insists that similar versions of this dessert existed in their area much earlier. Now, in this explainer, we absolutely aren't picking sides today. We're just looking at the facts. Both regions have fiercely defended their claims, turning tiramisu into Italy's most debated culinary creation.
And what makes this debate so fascinating is the timeline. You see, unlike a lot of traditional Italian recipes that date back centuries, tiramisu is surprisingly modern. Food historians generally agree it emerged in northern Italy sometime during the 1960s and early 1970s. From there, it spread like wildfire across regions in the 70s, gained massive global recognition in the 1980s, and today, it stands proudly as a worldwide icon. Seriously, it took the world by storm in a very short amount of time.
So here's what we're looking at today. 1. The Great Tiramisu Rivalry. 2. The Classic Ingredient Blueprint. 3. Crafting the Creams. 4. The Art of Layering. And 5. Tasting the Masterpiece.
Section 1. The Great Tiramisu Rivalry. And the main takeaway here is that while the two regions passionately defend their claims over who did it first, the classic version of the dessert is the ultimate, undisputed winner.
Section 2. The Classic Ingredient Blueprint. Let's transition right into the masterclass portion of our explainer and look at the simple, agreed-upon ingredients to serve 6 to 8 people.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the dessert is neatly divided into these specific, distinct architectural layers. We have the cream layer made of mascarpone, egg yolks, sugar, and heavy cream. Then there's the coffee layer, featuring strong espresso and an optional liqueur. The base is made entirely of ladyfingers, or savoiarde, and it's all tied together with a finishing touch of unsweetened cocoa powder.
And to build the rich, decadent foundation of this dish, you're going to need exactly 500 grams of high-quality mascarpone cheese. That number is absolutely key. It's the star ingredient that gives the dessert its signature weight and luxurious mouthfeel. Moving on to Section 3, crafting the creams. This is where we need to slow things down a bit, because building those velvety cream layers is a meticulous process that requires a gentle touch. There are 5 methodical steps to get this exactly right. First, you brew 300 milliliters of strong espresso. And this is a critical warning, you must let it cool completely. Just set it aside in a shallow bowl, because if your coffee is warm, it's going to make your ladyfingers super mushy. Second, whisk 4 large egg yolks and 100 grams of sugar until pale and thick, resembling a smooth custard. Third, gently fold in that mascarpone. Fourth, in a separate bowl, whip 250 milliliters of heavy cream until soft peaks form. Finally, step 5, gently combine the 2 creams. When combining them, you've got to use slow, gentle folding motions. You want to avoid over-mixing at all costs here. The whole goal is to keep the mixture light and fluffy, without creating any lumps. The resulting perfect texture should be exactly this: silky, smooth, and cloud-like.
Section 4. The Art of Layering. Let's move to and see how this builds as we transition into the delicate assembly phase where everything finally comes together.
Now for the build. You'll take your 250 grams of ladyfingers and dip them into that completely cooled coffee really quickly. Actually, just 1 second per side is plenty. Do not soak them. They should absorb the flavor without becoming mushy. Next, arrange them in a single bottom layer to create the foundation. Then, spread half the mascarpone cream over the biscuits using a spatula to gently create a clean, even finish. Repeat this with another layer of coffee-dipped biscuits, followed by the rest of the cream on top, and finally, step 5, chill. So, the crucial point is this: patience makes all the difference. You absolutely must cover the dish and refrigerate it for at least 4 hours. Or, overnight is even better.
This resting period is vital for the flavors to develop and for those distinct architectural layers to set properly so they hold together when served.
Just to summarize these expert pro tips to make sure you get that authentic, classic texture at home. Always use high-quality mascarpone. Brew fresh espresso. Dip those ladyfingers rapidly so they don't get soggy. Chill overnight whenever possible. Dust your cocoa powder right before serving, and always, always fold your ingredients gently.
Section 5. Tasting the masterpiece. Let's transition to the final, highly anticipated step of completing and serving our chilled dessert.
Once it's out of the fridge, right before you're ready to serve, you dust the entire surface evenly with unsweetened cocoa powder. Why wait until the last minute? While covering every corner with cocoa right before serving not only gives it that iconic look, but it provides a subtle bitterness that perfectly balances the sweetness of the cream. Then, simply cut it into portions and serve it chilled.
And this brilliantly illustrates the sensory payoff of all your hard work. When you take a bite, you notice those beautiful layers holding together perfectly. In every single spoonful, you get rich mascarpone, delicate coffee-soaked biscuits, and aromatic cocoa. It's light, yet totally indulgent, sweet, but wonderfully balanced, elegant, yet comforting.
Which leaves us with one final provocative thought. Does it really matter who invented it when the entire world gets to enjoy the masterpiece? Whether it was born in Treviso in the Veneto region or first crafted in Friuli, Venezia Giulia, the undeniable truth is that Italy gave us all a beloved culinary treasure. It's just a simple combination of coffee, mascarpone, cocoa, and patience that spread like wildfire to capture hearts globally. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Keep exploring, keep learning, and I'll see you next time.